Major League Wrestling coming off the successful War Chamber event, which saw the, I guess, demise of Contra Unit. And they're getting ready to head to Dallas in the first month of 2022 for Blood and Thunder. We will talk about that and more with my guest joining me now on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline. He is a former defensive player, I think linebacker for the Sam Houston State Bearcats, played in the 2012 FCS National Championship game against North Dakota State. And he is a huge part of what is making Major League Wrestling one of the hottest promotions today. He is the Judge, EJ Nduka. Follow him on Twitter at EJ the Judge. EJ, happy Thanksgiving Eve. How are you, man?
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, and thank you for having me on the show.
Man, it's a pleasure. Before we get to all that good stuff, it is Thanksgiving Eve, so I got to ask, favorite Thanksgiving food?
Favorite Thanksgiving food is definitely got to have the turkey and apple pie. Those two things were good to go.
Okay. All right. Now, turkey, is it roasted? Is it smoked? Cajun fried?
I like a good smoked turkey. I haven't had a smoked turkey in about 2 years, but roasted is fine. But I'm a smoked guy. Let that thing sit out there for a while because I am from Texas. Nice smoked turkey, can't go wrong.
Absolutely. I want to go back. Because before Major League Wrestling, of course, you were part of NXT. Right. You got released back early summer. Right. What I want to ask you is, what is the biggest lesson you learned about yourself following your release from WWE?
I kind of realized that this business is a business, so a lot of times you get in that locker room and you need to realize that it is a business and they look at you as a number, especially in the big machine that we call WWE. And so I took that and I basically cultivated that and decided to create and reinvented EJ and the Judge. And the product has been something that I'm very happy with. The fans are responding with, and I'm just continuing to grow and continuing to get better.
Absolutely. It really does seem that way. And from what I recall, when you were released, following your non-compete, you were sought after by everybody, by every promotion there was. Why Major League Wrestling?
I've said it a number of times. Court was super transparent. Joseph Samuel, super good guy. They actually sent me a DM and then followed up with a call. We talked for 2 or 3 days, and basically everything they were telling me was just positive stuff. I'd asked some people that had worked with them, and I'd heard nothing but genuine stuff. So their vision aligned with my vision, and when those things could collide, it can be deadly.
Now, I was doing some research. I saw you're also a bodybuilder, professional bodybuilder at that. Do you still compete in bodybuilding?
I am still a pro bodybuilder. Once you turn bodybuilder, the lifestyle really never leaves you, but I'm not actively competing right now. I'm a professional bodybuilder with the IFBB Pro, which is the highest organization in bodybuilding. And I've competed in men's physique, classic physique. I competed at the Arnold, the Ronnie Coleman, Olympia as an amateur, the Lou Frigno as a professional. Tons of classics, and plays pretty well.
Okay. Talking with EJ Nduka here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You just mentioned you're a Dallas native, and so I want to find out, is there kind of a point of pride that you're you're all intents part, you're a Texas wrestler. You come from the same hotbed state that brought us the Funks and the Von Erichs and Dusty and all that. Is it a point of pride that you are a wrestler from the Lone Star State?
Of course. Everything, this is a very loving state. When you come from Texas, you take pride in Texas, and everything I do is Texas. Everybody knows I'm from Texas. And so being a Texas wrestler is just another badge on the jacket, and it's a badge that I take very, very seriously.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got to imagine you and Ross and Marshall probably had a few, joining, so to speak, talking a little Texas, maybe even talking to Kevin as well.
Yeah, I chopped it up with them. Terrific guys. They've been in the business forever. That family, legendary family, and just to be in the same locker room with them is an honor.
Ironically, I was at the War Chamber event. I guess it would have been 2019 when they were in Dallas or the Dallas area, and Kevin was there with Ross and Marshall. And I tell you what, when Kevin came out to pull down the Contra guy that was trying to climb the cage, and he put that iron claw on, it might as well have been the Sportatorium. It was as hot a crowd as I have seen, and it was just so cool. So I can understand that. Before we get to Dallas, you're heading to Tijuana, Mexico on December 3rd. MLW and the Crash, Lucha Libre, doing a co-promoted card. What are you looking forward to when you get to Tijuana? And I gotta imagine the fights are lined up, so to speak.
Yeah. First of all, I'm looking forward to a California carne asada burrito. That's the number one thing I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
When we get to TJ, but on a serious note, yeah, I'm just excited to be international judge, to be able to go to different countries, to go to different places, and to be able to do what I love, and that's wrestle. Mexico, I love Mexico. My wife went to law school in San Diego, so we frequented Tijuana very often. We had dinners out there all the time, saw the lay of the land. Awesome city. It's no longer has that bad stigma like used to have in the 90s. It's a very gentrified, beautiful city. I want to make sure people understand that it's an awesome city. And I'm just excited to come back to Mexico. I got a lot of family driving down from San Diego and LA. And I still have friends in Mexico that's coming to support. Shout out to my boy Edgar, who's training with the Crash. Proud of you, man. Keep it up.
That's awesome. I mean, Crash has been at it for quite some time, so I know Crash and MLW will do it up big there in Tijuana. Oh, yeah. So far in MLW, you did the Battle Riot, had 12 eliminations, tied the record, big time. I mean, people getting tossed all over the place. Then you compete with Team Hammerstone in War Chamber, had a hell of a showing there. Just talk for a second about the last 6 months or so being in Major League Wrestling.
The last 6 months have been basically a pot of everything that I've been working for. I'm reaping the benefits of everything that I've sowed. I've been, as you mentioned before, I was at the Performance Center for almost 2 years, grinding. I was the first one in, last one out. I was watching all the matches. I was listening to the veterans call matches. I immersed myself in the culture because I want to be the best. I plan to be the best. My goal is to be one of the greatest to do it. And so coming to MLW and being able to actually put it into fruition, everything that I've worked for, I mean, it's a huge blessing. I mean, they are very, and I keep saying this word, it's very transparent. When you get to the back locker room, things are not overproduced. You can still put, who you are, what you want to bring. You can bounce ideas off of producers, the agents, court. Everybody's very, very receptive. And so it just creates an environment where we have a bunch of hungry people back there, hungry athletes who are wanting to show the world everything they can do. And my job as the judge is to shock the world.
I tell you what, from what I've seen of you, it's been fantastic. And what you said about MLW, everybody's been hungry. I mean, Major League Wrestling has been that promotion that has stayed the course and has put on some outstanding cards. So my hat's off to Court and everybody MLW. Before we get to Dallas, I want to mention recently one of your trainers at the Performance Center, Scotty Tiati, has decided to leave. I know you have a pretty good connection with Scotty Tiati. Just give me your thoughts on his departure and what he meant to you during those days in NXT.
Firstly, I want to say Scotty is the man. Scotty, if there was no Scotty, there would be no judge. Scotty was the one who got me in the door. He was the one that virtually found me on social media and got me an opportunity, got me a tryout, and here we are today. in the performance center, when I finally reached Scotty's class is upper level class. You've got to earn your way to get into his class. That's when I really that's when I really began to cultivate who the judge was. Like, he would constantly tell me, hey man, you are super athletic. Hey, try to do it like this. Or, you know, what would EJ do in this situation? Like, you don't have to do it like everybody else. What would you do personally? And that started to get the wheels turning, because, you know, I was new in the business, and it was almost like you see other people doing it, so you almost want to emulate that. But Scotty brings that abstract element in you. He's super creative. He's excellent with generating that character, pulling it out of you, kind of giving you little nuggets, as I would say. And then you take those nuggets, you eat it, and then you see what that person would do, what your character would do. I talked to Scotty like weekly. I would text him all the time. I would chopping it up with him. Matter of fact, before the War Chamber, I text Scotty. I said, hey, are there any hidden chamber matches that you suggest I should watch? And he sent me a few. Watch those. So he's always been a mentor for me. After my matches, I send it to him, and we talk about it, talk about our families. He's just a genuine guy. Like, I mean, he doesn't expect anything from you, but he gives as much as he can to you. And those type of people are very, very rare. Like, he's just I don't know if anybody has anything negative to say about him. He's just a good person. And that's, you know, what his decision obviously is what's making me happy, so I fully support him. But whatever he decides to do moving forward, Scotty is going to triumph, because good people deserve good things, and he's been putting in that seed, and he's been working, and he's a Hall of Famer, so, you know, he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, he has had such a great reputation for several years, you know, going all the way back to when he was, you know, when he was competing with Brian Christopher and doing his thing there. And so best wishes to Scotty Too Hotty. All right, so Major League Wrestling coming to Dallas. It's going to be January 21st there at Gillies, right, which is a great place. I saw several Ring of Honor shows there. Fantastic venue. Looking forward to seeing MLW there. So have you had any inkling about what you may be doing there at Gillies in Dallas when Major League Wrestling hits the Metroplex?
You know what the judge does. The judge comes, he shows up, and he shows out. I don't know exactly what I have on the card. I don't know exactly who I'm facing, but when the judge steps in that ring, 10 toes down, you better believe I'll be ready.
I love it. I love it. Major League Wrestling Blood and Thunder coming to Gillies in Dallas, January 21st, including the wonderful EJ Nduka, as well as local legends Ross and Marshall Von Erich, World Heavyweight Champion Alex Hammerstone, Enzo, Middleweight Champion Tajiri, the Tag Team Champions 5150 with Conan, and by the way, Von Erich's going after those tag belts.
That's right.
More.
That's right.
Tickets are available at MLW.com. EJ, man, it is so good to talk to you, man. I loved. I mean, I can just get the energy just coming off, you know, coming from you. I love it. I
appreciate you.
I quickly become a huge fan of yours.
Thank you.
And so I'm gonna be rooting for you, no matter what you're gonna be doing there at Gillies in Dallas. EJ Nduka, follow him again on Twitter at EJ the Judge. EJ, huge thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk again soon.
Stay blessed, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well.